Hi, my name's Astronaut Nicole Stott, and I would love to share a little bit with you about the STS-133 mission patch for the Space Shuttle program. When our crew was first assigned to STS-133, it was going to not only be the final flight for the Space Shuttle Discovery, but it was going to be the final flight for the Space Shuttle program. And so as a crew, when we were thinking about the design for the patch, we wanted to make sure that it was something really special, really beautiful to honor the legacy of the entire Space Shuttle program and of Space Shuttle Discovery. So one of my crewmates, Al Drew, was the prime for creating the design of this patch, and he worked with all of us on it. And he came up with a really great idea to reach out to an amazingly talented artist named Robert McCall, who had done all kinds of, oh my gosh, beautiful space-related art, things for like the movie 2001 and Star Trek, and these gorgeous murals envisioning what spaceflight would be like in the future. And he had also done patches very early on for the Space Shuttle program, and we just thought it would be just so nice to have him create the final patch for the Space Shuttle program. And so he came up with several different designs. Al worked directly with him. He was so excited about helping us with this patch. And we finally ended up with this really, which I think is the most beautiful patch in the history of all of the Space Shuttle program, that not only captures Robert McCall's kind of unique artistry in the way you see the flames and the Earth and the stylized space shuttle, but also just the program itself. We didn't want anything that was like alpha and omega and, you know, first and last, anything. We want it to be a beautiful representation of the history of the Space Shuttle program. Now, as we went on, STS-133 did not end up being the final flight of the Space Shuttle program, but Robert McCall created this beautiful artwork for us. Sadly, very shortly after he sent us the final design, he passed away. And from his family, they agreed that we could still continue to use his art. And a couple of folks who are pretty well known in the patch design world for the space industry, a gentleman named Tim Gagnon and his partner, George Cortez, took over the design and were able to create the graphic version of it that allowed us to make our patch, the STS-133 mission patch. It's the best. And I really quickly wanted to share with you how this patch changed over time as well in a very different way. So you'll notice on my jacket, I have the STS-133 mission patch. Everything about it is the same except for one name on the patch. On this version, you'll notice the name Copra. And on this version, you'll notice the name Bowen. When we were first assigned to STS-133, one of our crewmates was Tim Copra. Amazing guy. And along the way, as we were getting ready to launch, we had some delays in our flight, and we were sent back to Johnson Space Center to wait for whatever the next launch opportunity would be. And during that time, Tim very sadly fell on his bike and broke his hip, and we had to find another crewmate for STS-133. That gentleman is Steve Bowen. And you can see his name on the patch here. He flew with us, and Tim was he was like crewmate number 7, down on the ground with us, working every step of the way with the mission, and then later had the opportunity to fly a 6-month space station flight. But kind of interesting to see that very subtle difference of Copra and Bowen, both amazing crewmates on STS-133.